What we have here, folks, is the front of USA Video Store, 2003. During the winter time, when it was snowing, and that's me, all bundled up, throwing some rock salt there. And if you didn't know, I'm trying to put together from my 1,000 hours of footage, trying to put together maybe I guess you could call a documentary on the video store business. And one of the main things about the video store business was that when it snowed, we were always busy. A lot of people might still remember that, but for those who don't, that when snowstorms were predicted, well, everybody went to the hardware store, grocery store, and video store. So that's the way it was, and as the business depended on that. So that tells you in the wintertime we were much busier than in the other times of the year. So now I'm outside of the store, and what I'm doing is looking around and throwing some rock salt to see if I can help, prevent any snow from sticking. But I was playing around a little bit because we had security cameras. I had it in the window and it was on 24 hours a day. And that's the reason I got this recorded. Because there was infrared cameras. And it's pretty good with the, when it's dark out and all. And I was, I took this particular portion because I have a lot of videos on, snowstorms, Christmas time, and inside the store, with the counter and all. And so this is like one of the tapes. I decided to pick it so I could talk over it, and it's going to be about all the snow. So I used to have to make sure that I had shovels myself, rock salt and everything. I had to be prepared, in the wintertime, because I was the one doing all this. So this is, what you're seeing. Now I'm going to show after this, me shoveling the snow and all. But the snowstorms, there's quite a few over the years that we were there, and I recorded them. Because they're all a little bit different. Me shoveling snow and people coming in and out of the store and all. But the purpose of, that I want to do a documentary is because I want to show this. And I have the footage to show it. Over 1,000 hours of footage is like 6 hours on the tape, so you know how many tapes. But I actually have more than that. I'm just, estimating how many hours I have. But the problem is right now, when I do this documentary, I need someone to help me. In other words, 2 people could do this. I mean, I'm not working, I'm retired now. If someone else out there is looking for something to do, it's not going to be much of a cost. The problem is going to be taking footage that I have and I guess upload it into the computer so that then we can make a good documentary. It doesn't have to be great. All it has to be is good so that a company might take it. That'd be like a sample, like what I'm doing now, talking over the video. So now you can see that the snow's coming down now, and I'm getting ready to come out. There I am. I got my shovel out there. I'm going to be shoveling the snow. You know how you usually shovel from the front of your house? You go vertically, straight, I'm shoveling horizontally. Because we're the second store in from the corner. So what I did was I went a couple doors up the other way, and I shoveled the snow into a pile on the corner, right near the, the way the curve is. So it wouldn't bother anybody, and it would melt into the gutter. So that's what I'm doing here. But there's one more thing that I did. I took a bucket, put water, and put rock salt, and I made a brine. And I'm shoveling now, there. And I'm going to try to get, get all the snow up as much as I can, because it is still snowing. It's supposed to snow all night. So I figured, so when I come in the morning, it's going to be tougher. I could come early to try to get everything clear enough for people to get into the store. Because there's 2 steps there, and the 2 steps is a problem because when that door opens, it's not much room there for snow. So what I had to do was, I'm trying to make sure that it's clear so people can get in and out. Because it's going to be busy, I know that. There's no doubt. And this is our second location here. And it's a small store and all. So you can see, I'm getting rid of, pushing it into a pile in the corner. So once I get all this snow, because I am taking it from a couple doors up. Only because I want to keep it away from the store as much as I can. I also want to keep it from front of those cars, because I know what it is. You come out in the snow and you got the snow all piled up, you can't even get in your car. So you can see, you'll see the ground pretty much. Because on this footage, I have plenty, like I said, but this particular one, because I'm shoveling, and I'm going to put that brine when I finally get it done. So the next day when I came in, I was concerned to say, what's going to happen? Somebody's going to fall and slip. When I came in the next day, it was pretty much clear. It was just wet. It's a little bit wet. A little slushy, not much. So the snow still can stick on the ground. You know yourself, if you throw rock salt and it's cold out, and it's snowing enough, even if it's not too cold, the snow will still stick. It sticks right on the rock salt. Because it's making the ground colder. As it comes down fast, like a wet snow, it still will stick. So this here will keep it from sticking. I'm not saying it will stop the snow from completely, but it'll at least make it so I won't have a big mess in the morning, because I know in the morning, if it's going to snow all night, I know it's going to be like in the morning. The schools are closed and people aren't working. Well, everybody is going to think of getting movies. And you rent a lot of movies when it was snowing. Like people normally take 2 movies, they're taking 4 and 6. And they weren't just renting new releases. Everything. Stock films and all. But we had DVDs now. This is when the DVDs were starting out. And you can see, it's quite. I'm going to keep talking over this. Because I am looking for someone that might be interested in helping me get a documentary done. We could get it to one of the networks. Somebody. I know PBS. They do a lot of documentaries. A few years ago, they did one that was called The Things That Aren't There Anymore. They did a couple of them. So I know they could do it. They're able to produce it. But if I give them, it's not like we're saying a documentary, we would write it up. Like say I would write something up, like a manuscript and submit it to them to do a documentary. No, I don't have to do that. I have the footage. From, like I say, a mom and pop video store. There's only a few of them in the area, that, and in this particular, we had a big store only about 5 blocks from here. And of course, we had to move, not because the business was slowing down, because they were built townhouses. So, luckily I found the store that I found. It was really 2 stores. It was like one big store. It could be 2 stores or one big store. So I decided to just let it be one store. I took the in store, not the one on the corner. So a guy that I know, he made it into a grocery store deli. So that was nice, having that next to a video store. Because when it snowed, people are going to go there and get the movies at the same time. A lot of people I was talking to, they told me that the hardware store is not too far from here. So what they would do is they go to the hardware store, get rid of that, throw it in the thing, then walk over to the video store and get the movies, and they would get the food. Why go to another place? So they would get their food and everything, have enough to stay in for maybe a couple of days. Now it's an overnight rental, and I made sure I emphasize to these people, because when they come back and it's a day late, they're gonna say they don't have the money or something. I mean, it's happened a few times, not that much. And I told these people, if you don't pay, you can't rent. And if you do pay late, it's going to be a 2-tape limit. A lot of people, I was able to get them to pay. I would pay like half, just to get the money. Better to get half of the money than none. I got the movies back, that's the main thing, because they're mostly all new releases. So most of the time I was able to work it out. For the ones that maybe had it, say, 3 days, can you imagine? Having 6 tapes for 3 days? It's $18 a day. It's like $54. So of course when they come back, I say, look, can you pay something? Just to leave the movies and say they can't pay. Well, I usually print a receipt and have them sign for it. I told them, if you don't work it out somehow, pay something, I'm going to send it to collection. And what do they say? Oh, you're not going to send it to collection for that little bit of money? Yes, we do. Because you have a collection agency, they don't charge us either unless they collect the money. So they take it from whatever they collect. So we didn't have nothing to lose. So I give them a chance to pay, and then if you don't pay, it goes on your credit. So a lot of people worked it out, It wasn't too much of that. Like the big companies like Blockbuster and West Coast Video and Hollywood Video, they had it with prepay. So you can imagine when it snowed, all the movies, they would prepay, and if you might have had it for 3 days or 5 days. But if you were late, well, what late fees? And not only that, if you didn't return the movies and you were late too, what they did was, whatever you owed, they had the late fee, and then they charged your credit card. If you need a credit card or you couldn't get a membership, they would charge your credit card. So that was a problem with the prepay. But they were making more money because they already got money. Now you're late, they're going to get more money plus a late fee. So that's how they were making their money. But when the business slowed down, what happened was they didn't charge late fees because they wanted to get the movies back so that they could rent them. It was to make people come in. So we seem to be doing all right here at this time. But we really slowed down, like from the big store to here. So now neither one of the stores are around now. This store turned into an apartment. They're getting more money for an apartment than it was for the business. That's why they didn't want us. They knew we weren't doing good. They didn't want to renew us either. So I just about had to close down because of that. But the nail in the coffin was when the cable company started advertising. Once the cable was in all the neighborhoods, no more trips to the video store. Stay at home, pay per view. And that was a big thing. And of course, all these people were doing it. When it snowed and all that, and we weren't busy anymore. Just because people could stay at home, they didn't have to come out. It really put us down. So eventually, I had to close down there. We were there like 4.5 years at this location. It's a great good location, and not too much overhead. But when I wasn't making enough money to pay me, to pay bills, and to buy movies, well, I couldn't stay there, Of course, when it snowed like this, it made enough to cover everything. We were all right, but I couldn't keep doing it, We had a lot of things there to supplement the income. This documentary that I want to do is, got everything you need to show what the video store business was like. In other words, it was a lot of things. When we first started out in the late 80s, VCRs was coming out then, and everybody, wanted to rent movies because they had the VCRs. You could record shows, but you wanted to rent movies to see it. So it was pretty busy then. And for a while, and then once it died down a little bit, of course, then the DVDs came in. So I'm really looking for someone to help me with this over 1,000 hours of footage, and maybe turn it into a documentary. We need to make a sample, I think. Some of these tapes, not all of them, do some. Somebody that's pretty good with, they're like a techie, with doing this computer business and all. They could take these videotapes, pick some of them, and upload it into the computer, make computer files for each one. I have them all dated. Could be dated, and then if we want to take it while it's in the computer, we can view it, and we can make up some kind of like a documentary sample of it, and I could do voiceover, or they could do it, and it's not the documentary the way it's going to be, but it would show enough of the footage that maybe some company be interested. There's a lot of footage about, like I said, different things, because I have plenty about the snowstorms. It's like this, me shoveling snow and doing people coming in and out in the snow and the different snowstorms. But also the Christmas time, that was another thing, because I always decorated a lot. I have a lot of that footage. And I have footage of the actual inside waiting on customers. I have a lot of that, and that goes back into the 90s, 1990s. I have a lot, And it's still good. I don't know the tapes, how they're going to hold up. I have them stored properly. But if someone, it's not going to cost anybody nothing to work with me. The problem is going to be where are they at? I'm in Philadelphia. If anybody's in the area and they'd be interested, because I can ship some tapes, but I think it might be a little bit difficult. I mean, whoever's going to do this is going to have to get some of the tapes so they can start working on it. Not work on all of them, just do some to get it in there so we can make something up. This is just something that I've been doing, that I had put on DVD, and then I'm playing it on a screen, a small TV, and I'm putting the front-facing camera to record it. It's nothing coming out as good as the tape, but you can still see it. So if someone's interested in this, maybe they can, work with me. I know 2 people together could do this. The main thing is fine. We only need one company, PBS or somebody, that can make a documentary of it. And they can we could sell them the rights, everything, even though I own everything. But somebody partners with me, and they can make the deal with somebody. I'm going to split. So we'll look at it this way. You can maybe get a cash advance, so we could split that, and then the company can make the documentary, and whatever they, any proceeds they get, they can recoup their costs and the advance they gave us. And if there's anything after that, we could get royalties and split it with them. Or we just sell it outright. We hope we get enough money that we won't get anything, no matter what they do with it. We won't care, because if it comes to be something big, well, we did it that way. We made the decision. So again, I can see what's happening here. Now see how it looks? Starting to look wet. And I'm still, sweeping and all. And now I got the bucket out there. And it's still got, the liquid that I made, the brine. And so I'm pretty much coming to an end here. And what's going to happen is I'm going to keep, I'm making that last. You can see how it looks. It actually worked, because the next day I didn't have nothing, no problems. I could come right to work at the last minute, get the store up, and when people came in, they said, "Wow, you got it clean out there." I said, "Yeah, I know. I worked on it." What you call working hard and then smart, But that was all done. But I wouldn't recommend anybody doing this. Putting water out there and you're wetting the ground. I wouldn't recommend it. I'm a professional, so I wouldn't do this. If the winter's coming soon. I did it there because of the situation. I want to make sure, because I knew it was going to be a busy day, snowing all night. You probably see it in the light there, snow, but well, I got it pretty much. You can see how it looks. So I'm pretty much going to wrap it up here. If anybody's interested in working with me on doing a documentary, maybe we can work it out. If someone contacts me, we can do it by email, just so that we could get acquainted, and then after that we can see what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. If we can get it done, because there's documentaries on everything, but the video store business is something I don't think there's too much. There's stuff written about it, but to have the actual footage of when this occurred, And I got, we went from a lot of years, almost 30 years. So now you can see that I'm finishing up there. And it's, you know, this is what I did. I didn't do this all the time. A lot of times I couldn't do it because I was in the store and it was snowing. And I was waiting on customers. But what I did was, I had that footage also. I may put that, you know, put that out. You know, I may post it. I just want to see what I have. It's not, this shows, you know, how important the video store, when it snowed, how big of a thing it was. And I'm doing everything by myself. Those stores had people do that, you know, cleaning and all, I'm sure. Those big companies. But since it's a small store, I was doing everything. You can see it. And you see right here, I just want to show this. Okay, you can see how clean it is. It's just wet. It stayed that way pretty much. It was a little bit of slush, you know, when I came in the morning, but not bad. And then as the day went on, once it got just a little warmer, it was completely dry. There's no snow or nothing. Remember, I had the pile of snow in the corner. I had it so clean that people are coming in and out. They're saying, oh. Because they're walking at other places where, you know, getting to the store, it's all packed on the ground, because I know when I went home how it was. When I got to my house, I couldn't even get into there. I almost fell climbing up the steps. So I got in. I had my shovel and salt in the vestibule. So I did the front of my house also, so I had that clear. So, you know, I kept really busy then, you know. But it was a pretty good day. I think we did about 300 rentals. You know, that's almost $1,000. But remember, we don't get paid until return. Because I know most of it came back the next day or so. So we were making money for a couple of days. It was really good. It was enough money. It was more money than we did in maybe a whole month. But that helped a lot. But you can only, you know, the weather is what we were dependent on. In the wintertime, we're definitely busier because of that. Not necessarily because of the snow, mostly because of the snow. But because it being cold, more people stayed in, you know. Yeah, so look at this and think about it. If someone's interested, like I said, read the description and, you know, have my information. You know, if anybody wants to, I get a lot of emails, but not from this. If anybody could just drop me an email, I'll answer it, you know, tell me what you think, or you're interested or not. Because I really want to, you know, work with somebody. I need somebody. I just can't do it by myself. My part is my experience, my expertise in it, and plus all that footage I have that can be used in making of the documentary. I mean, these companies know how to make documentaries, but when you have the information, you know, I have it, you know, I have the product. There's something that's just not out there. You're not going to order, might order a movie, things like, you're not going to order video store footage. It's just not there. So I don't know. It might be for somebody. Somebody might be. You know, all these networks and all, they're always looking for something, you know. They produce their own movies and all. Yeah, for the cable and all, so you never know. But I would like to see if it could be done, maybe. So like I said, I'm looking for someone who might have connections, who might be doing, you know, interested in doing something like this. But I mean, it's just that the footage is so much that to go through it and pick out what would, you know, and put it together. You know, I'm just doing a little bit here, like I guess you could say highlights. I already put highlights already, and I already did something about inside, you know, the video store. So I decided to do this and explain about the snow, how it affected the business. They're going to need a script. You know, once they have all the footage, then they're going to have to decide how to, you know, to do the narration. I necessarily wouldn't want to do it, but they have people for that, to do that. They get a known celebrity to do it, because they do a lot of that, you know. Samuel L. Jackson, he's one of the ones I know to do it. Morgan Freeman, you hear him a lot. So if you get a known voice, it's going to even make him even better. They might use other video stores, you know, compare them all. See, now I'm throwing the rest of that brine out there, see it? I mean, I thought about doing this, and when I did this, I said, I hope, because I had the cameras running at night, all night, 2 cameras, so I wondered what's going to happen, you know. There's nobody around, anybody would ever fall there. But I figured that it would be hard to cause any problems because I salted, I did all this work, and I can show it. I have the video. But they can't say it wasn't shoveled and cleaned, and that's why they fell. So I was concerned with all that. Nothing really happened. A lot of people noticed when they came in, as soon as I opened the store, because I don't want to be doing that out there, and all these people are coming for rentals. Now I'm working by myself, so I made sure. So when I went to work, when I looked over there, I was surprised because I looked across the street and all around, all the sidewalks and just a little. They weren't shoveled when I was walking in. It's all packed, you know. When people walk on that kind of snow and it's cold out, it's hard to shovel it. So that's pretty much. I'm going to wrap it up here now. You can see that it's clear, you know. So if anybody's interested, make sure you read the description. Have a nice day.